of the CEOs. Some of them that will be brought here to adduce evidences are former CECs of Kericho County. Some of them were mentioned in the Londiani scandal. Out of it, I was able to release some of them out of work. Today, I'm being in Senate, being asked that you sack some people procedurally, while some of those names that will be testifying here are the same names that were active in the so-said Londiani scandal. Some of them were presiding over Kazim Tahani. Today, they are seated here also, probably being aligned as advocates after we release them. We are in a case of history, as celebrated Katiba Day, to ask ourselves that to what extent is political persuasion and political desire compared to morality, compared to the rights of an individual. And as the governor of Kericho, I'm here under your mercy, Mr. Speaker, and the senators, so that you'll also help me to get justice as an individual because of the injustices, because of the wrong allegations that have been bestowed of me, while the governor has completely nothing to do with even signing of a voucher, has nothing to do with authorizing payments. My commitment has been simple. The officers that are found culpable of wrongdoings, the law will then follow its case. Out of this, Mr. Speaker, I call then for your consideration deeply, and the Honorable Church has said here, on the matters that will be laid on us, so that the people of Kericho County get justice, while at the same time also the governor of Kericho get justice that he so deserves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and may God bless this great Senate, and we put all our trust and hope in this very good upper Senate that over time has proven that it does things in an appropriate way and uphold the Constitution. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, the first issue I wish to address is our insistence on the preliminary objection we raised earlier on. We take on board the directions and the guidance given by the Speaker. We will adduce evidence of the 18 MCAs who did not vote, and we maintain that indeed this motion should not be here because the total optimum number of MCAs who could have possibly voted in favor of this motion could have been 29. And we are not saying that 29 necessarily are voted. We are saying that the results that were brought here were manipulated. And so that would be the first item in terms of my opening address. The second issue I wish to contend with Mr. Speaker and honorable senators is we contest the allegation or the contention that the governor is of bad behavior. It is our argument that the governor is a victim of political machinations, especially at the instance of the Speaker of the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, it will be our case that the law provides for responsibility for every individual in all the cases that the County Assembly, through my learned friend, Mr. Ngoya, has identified. Whether it is a case of signing of the contracts, whether it is a case of payment, whether it is a case of procurement, whether it is a case of fictitious payment, there are people who the law has assigned responsibility for, and none of those situations touch on the governor. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is our argument that the nearest you could come to hold the governor responsible in a fair situation is if it were to be the case that indeed the improprieties have been brought to his attention, he has been afforded an opportunity to act, and he has chosen not to act. And it is our case in this situation that the reports, the impeachment motion was hijacked by the mover of the motion even before the various ad hoc reports had properly landed at the County Assembly. It will also be noted when we eventually come to the case that each of those ad hoc reports made recommendations for actions to be taken by various aspects of the County Assembly. Where it touches on the CCs, it is the governor to act. Where it touches on CEOs, it is the public service, the County Service Board to act. And there are instances also where recommendations have been made for even EACC to act. And so as it were, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, it is our argument that we were not afforded an opportunity to act, and responsibility of the governor could only attend his inaction if he had been afforded an opportunity to act. Now, we are prepared to accept that if it were to be the case that there is a very pervasive and rampant improprieties at the county, you could start wondering whether the governor has put in place proper mechanism. It is our argument that keeping away the emotional way the issues have been put, and we are not belittling the amount that has been lost, we are not belittling the issues that have been raised, we are only saying that it is not true that it is as rampant as it has been alleged. When you critically look at both the amounts involved and the incidences in the face of the size and the turnover of Kericho County. We are not belittling it, but we are saying that these incidences have been blown completely out of proportion, and that they do not indicate in any way either complicity or inaction on the part of the governor. We would also like to indicate, and we will adduce evidence on this point, that much as the governor was taken through the process of impeachment at the county assembly and came to learn of the reports subsequently, he has already forwarded some of those aspects of those reports to EACC, and the EACC is already taking. Let me start with the retention money, because that's the one he multiple times referred to. He says in all the instances that payment was made in previous regime and then another payment was made in this regime. It brings us back to the basis and the root cause of this case. Being this argument we made at the county assembly and we'll be making here, that these allegations are rooted in the political ambition and interest of the Speaker of the county assembly. And the basis of that, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that these allegations of retentions have been paid in the previous regime, where at the instance of this, the Speaker, the current Speaker when he was in charge of finance, and proper investigation as to whether there was previous payment and a subsequent payment in this regime, Mr. Speaker, sir, is an issue which is a witness and has an interest in. Our position is that we deny, and we were entitled to more time to look at it and address that issue, Mr. Speaker, sir. But we are emphasizing the extent to which the Speaker in the county assembly would go out of his way to generate and fabricate a case against the governor. On the issue of Londiani, Mr. Speaker, sir, we would like to invite the attention of these honorable senators. In September 2024, they have been brought back. And that is contrary to the provisions of Standing Order number 70A, which prohibits reintroduction of previously highlighted allegations. That's the first issue we wish to take up on that issue of Londiani. The second issue we wish to take up on this issue of Londiani is that the allegation against the governor is that he failed to act on a report that had been given to him by the county assembly. We would like to bring it to your attention, honorable senators, and we will point out to you that that report of the county assembly was stayed by the court. The court said no action can be taken on that report because of the impropriety with which it was made and the malice with which it was made, and therefore it cannot be right to say that the court, having found that no action should be taken by the governor, he should now be brought here for impeachment. Then there is the issue of private property and the emotional play of the video where they said governor was in gumboots. We would like to point out again that that allegation was in the previous complaint in September 2024, which you threw away, and understanding order number 70A, it should not be brought back. But secondly, my learned friend, Mr. Ongoya, has said that that was invading private property. He then went on to say that it has been determined by court. Honorable Senators, we will surprise you when we get to that judgment, where we will show you that there is no determination that that is private property. It is the position of Kericho County government that indeed that property is public property and remains public property. The nearest that the court determined in that case was that there was need to have proper NEMA certifications before dumping could be done there. There was no determination that it belongs to the person who had complained. The nearest that was made was that it needs to, that the property should not have been used for dumping before certification has been issued. And for those reasons, Honorable Senators and Mr. Speaker, sir, we pray that in the course of this trial, we will show that this impeachment motion, number one, doesn't meet the threshold for it to stand here. Number two, that the allegations have been overstated, they have been exaggerated. And number three, that quite a number of them are not true. I would, within the time that I still have, I would like my learned friend, Mr. Wanyama, to say something.
Just a minute before he sits down. I forgot to indicate, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the land in question that has been debated and so sensationally brought here, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot is not, because I don't need to discuss him here because he's the majority leader, he helped us the other day to get the title deed towards the portions of that land through Anandwale. And the lands and the process is ongoing to get the title deed of the entire parcel. And of course, the documents that will be tabled here will also be able to demonstrate that. Secondly, I would like to emphasize, Mr. Speaker, because I stand easy, I don't know my fate after this. And it will be prudent in future. This is just my thinking, not as a governor, but as a scholar, that if we will not be careful in this country, speakers who have ambition and have good money in their pockets will just be able to wake up one morning, create a list and send to Senate for governors to be impeached. And if we will not be careful, Mr. Speaker, the lot of humility, there will be cocktails of impeachments in Senate. Some of the senators here are also aspiring to be governors. And I know some of them at a personal level that they have high chances of being governors. If we will trend in this direction, nobody will be safe in this country.